All right, we good. Whew. Thank you, Shark. Appreciate it. Okay. What did Armanat do?
He fell into schism and challenged the sacred boundaries of knowledge. The blessed Amanat claimed the limits of what is permitted must be expanded, because by refusing to explore certain law, we find ourselves in contempt of the seventh universal law. Comprehension is the key to all things. My mentor put forth a thesis claiming that we have stagnated, that ritual is now nothing but a cage for souls and false worship of the Omnissiah.
Oh, he says
He
Omnissiah.
sought to break the cycle of mindless repetition, because he saw the inevitable demise of our faith and all humanity at the end of it.
Certain aspects of the Imperium have indeed ossified. His argument sounds reasonable.
This statement is false. My mentor's words sound like heresy. Limits were established because it is dangerous to venture beyond. Each step past them could lead to a bloody slaughter, but the blessed Amanat was not afraid.
How'd you betray him?
The teachings of the blessed Amanat spread, and word of it reached the conclave of the Cognizance fleet. They recognized his teachings as tech heresy. Many tech priests suddenly vanished or were subjected to server penance for minor transgressions. The students of Amanat, whose number included many enlightened and respected brothers, resisted. My prognosis showed that our most likely future was a schism and a fratricidal war that would destroy the Cognizance fleet. That was when I headed to the Conclave. I confessed and handed the information about my mentor's research over to the Conclave. Brazen, anathematic studies of the Forbidden Law. The Conclave could use that data to summon Archmagos Amanat to stand trial and compel him to repent on pain of excommunicate traitoris. His subsequent fate is unknown to me.
He betrayed his mentor.
This statement is true. However, I took this step out of loyalty to my mentor. He rejected caution and was leading us to a blasphemous war where he would become the first and most important victim. I did not want to witness his destruction and tried to force him to submit. I wanted to return to my mentor and share his fate, but the Conclave found me repentant and sent me to the station Alter Templum Calixis EXT-17, where I was to atone for my previous transgressions.
You acted like a loyal son of the Imperium should.
I pray that the Omnissiah grants us wisdom to overcome the dialectic differences that divide us.
So why'd you go to Rykad Minoris?
I was summoned there by a message that was encrypted with the blessed Amanat's personal code, and could be interpreted in several ways. One thing was certain: we were in danger, and I had to go to Rykad Minoris.
Tech priest named Abel. Who is he?
Assessing his personality is difficult. The spirit of Brother Abel is different from that of most people. Tech comrades of the Cohh call such persons quiet ones. He possesses significant intellect, but shuns communication.
Interesting.
So far, I have not been able to determine why Abel summoned me to Rykad Minoris. How he is related to the blessed Amanat, or why he bears the same name as me. Perhaps Reverend Abel may not be fully able to actualize and interpret the available data,
What are you gonna do next?
I was wrong when I assumed it was the blessed Archmagos Amonat who assumed the guise of Abel Haneman. But there is a connection between him and the Reverend Abel, and I intend to uncover the nature of this link.
Cool.
Acknowledged. I will return to ruminating on the search for the blessed Amonat.
Wait, if I do this, I want to know more about your past.
The request is approved. I have no outright restrictions on disclosing this information.
Cog bros are mysterious? Yeah, they are. Yeah, they is. Where you from?
Information about my origins is worthless. I belong to the priesthood of explorators and came to the Coronis Expanse over 200 years ago. Any events preceding that moment are insignificant.
Oh. Okay. How'd you end up in the Cronus Expanse?
I was honored to become a member of the Explorator Cognizance Fleet. When the Adeptus Mechanicus summoned the faithful for an exploratory venture into the depths of the Coronis Expanse, I joined the fleet in fulfillment of my sacred vows of comprehension.
Why are you not with the fleet then?
After I betrayed Archmagos Amonat, the fleet conclave directed me to the orbital station, Alter Templum Calixus EXT-17, for penance. This venerable temple station was founded in the early years of our expansion into the Coronis Expanse. It is currently a rear observation post of the Cognizance Fleet in orbit around the star Furibundus.
Furibundus. Who are the Explorators?
The sacred fraternity of explorers. The cult Mechanica sends us out to the frontiers of the known sectors as researchers and conquerors. We are the warriors of the Code, who return to the lost worlds and devote themselves to recovering the lost ancient knowledge. Explorators are granted the privilege of being more independent than many of our tech comrades. However, it has earned us a reputation as unstable and poorly controlled troublemakers whose unorthodox views are dangerously close to apostasy.
Tell me more about your mechadendrites.
They are my younger brothers and guides on the way to the Omnissiah. Their machine spirits are directly bound to my neocortex and pick up impulses from my subconscious. Sometimes they act ahead of my thoughts. This is how the Omnissiah leads me to comprehension.
Dude, that is so cool. That idea is amazing.
Acknowledged.
Tell me more about the Adeptus Mechanicus.
I am honored to belong to the priesthood of Mars, guided by its tenets.
We're almost done, Jack.
We safeguard technology against the impure and the unenlightened.
Maybe. Why did you mention Mars?
That is where the cult of the Omnissiah originated, and where we were granted the first revelations. Many millennia ago, we made an alliance with the Emperor of Terra, and have served the Imperium ever since, paying a tribute of machinery, weapons, and void ships. Everything that bears the blessed seal of machinery comes from our hands, and it is we who make sure the operating rituals are performed as they were meant to. We are everywhere. We are the Mars-forged steel bars that give the Imperium strength.
What do you mean you guard it? It's not buried treasure. It's not a secret.
It is both a treasure and a secret.
Oh.
Technology is how the divinity of the Omnissiah manifests itself in this world. This is why the uninitiated may only be allowed to touch the most vulgar and mundane of its instances. We, on the other hand, are authorized to use the sacred catechism of maintenance and operation.
We are the ultimate IT department.
Although there is another reason to deny lay people the sacrament of knowledge, it can be dangerous. Twisted by renegades, the Omnissiah's wisdom is called heretic, and the exposure to it may corrupt the uninitiated. Another danger is knowledge strangely interpreted and inscrutably twisted by the minds of the Xenos. This vein is called xenotech.
Banning things you cannot understand is the opposite of seeking knowledge. Technology is merely a tool that can be employed without risk by a wise wielder.
That is a bold hypothesis. And yet the Omnissiah teaches us that a dauntless mind can penetrate any knowledge through analysis. Where the ignorant see heresy, the enlightened might see truth.
Interesting.
Have you tried turning it off and empowering it henceforth? Again.
Do you hold a high position in your fraternity?
This electu indicates that I am a Magos, who has mastered the sacraments of many spheres of knowledge, and has the right to conduct services in a forged cathedral.
Ooh, that sounds fun. What's the Omnissiah in your understanding?
He is the divine mechanism, the maker of technology. The universe was made to resemble a mechanical marvel because the Omnissiah rules over it. Knowledge is the highest form that he uses to manifest in the world. For now. Someday, he will come to this world in the absolute fullness of his splendor.
Okay, sounds cool. Right on.
The Adeptus Mechanicus worshipped the Emperor. He is the earthly manifestation of the Omnissiah, who brought humanity into the light of divine grace.
Ah, okay. What is behind the Adeptus Mechanicus' enthusiasm for replacing flesh with augmentations?
Organic tissue is an imperfect replica of the machine, transient and vulnerable. Metal is more stable, more effective, and more durable. Flesh speak is flawed next to binaric language. Meat begets weakness. It softens the mind and undermines discipline. But you can replace metal when it wears down. In addition, a machine is a supreme form of knowledge, and by assuming mechanical form, we become closer to the Omnissiah.
Okay, checks out.
However, like all things sacred, our augmentations must not be defiled by the eyes of the ignorant, which is why we reveal only the crudest of tools, while holier mechanisms remain concealed beneath our crimson robes.
Say what now? I'm curious to see your augmentations.
The right to witness the miracle of flesh being fused with holy metal is granted only to those who have ascended to the rank of initiate. However, your lofty status of rogue trader allows me to make a partial exception and reveal my sacred stigmata.
Pasqal reverently parts the robe's scarlet folds on his chest. You see emaciated white meat gnawed through by mechanical shunts and flexible wires. Blood runs through the transparent pipes, enriched with the nutrients required by the pallid flesh. Oh. No. The sight of a body transformed into an appendage to some ancient mechanism is sickening. It's like hundreds of giant metallic insects have swarmed the flesh and are leeching the vitality from it. I'm impressed.
Flesh may be fragile, but metal is strong. And so is my devotion.
Wow. You have a strange way of speaking. Is that because of the augmentation, or does your faith dictate how you should express yourself?
Partially true. I had a voice modulator implanted alongside the respiratory purification module, but there is an additional reason. Gothic is not my first language. I am used to thinking and making statements in lingua technis. The binaric language is more informative, more ergonomic, and less prone to misinterpretation.
Oh.
Acknowledged.
I'm gonna take my leave.
May your labors be effective and fruitful.
Freaking cool, man. We just spent like 20 minutes talking to those people. I love it. What is that sound? Is that like the engine? It's like somebody like doing target practice or something. Heinrix, what's up, man? Where are we going now, by the way? Oh, going back to talk to the governor. I'm sorry. Tell me a little about yourself, bro.
I'm usually the one interested in the pasts of
That's
those
the
around
sister's
me.
ass cheeks
Not
clapping.
the reverse.
Oh. Is she
I come
working?
from a night world.
Oh, she's doing the
Guizorn
GTA 6
III.
trailers. Okay.
I belong to a branch of one of the noble houses
Makes sense.
until my exceptional abilities were discovered. After that, I was sent on a black ship to Holy Terra, where I was trained, and I began my service for the glory of the Imperium.
This is the last character we're talking to, then we're all set. Do you remember your home planet?
I do, but I have no ties to my homeworld now. None except my first name. I left Guizorn III when I was still a child. My family disowned me, stripping me of my family name. I was given a new one by those who trained me. Even for a noble, being branded a psyker is a mark of eternal shame. I experienced that firsthand before I was put on the black ship.
How did you discover your abilities?
Like many psychers unaware of their curse, I found out when a strong emotional reaction triggered an involuntary response. My great-aunt had a pet grink. One day, it bit me, and I boiled it from inside out. And when my great-aunt slapped me for what I'd done, I boiled her too.
Oh. I hope you've mastered your abilities since then.
When I arrived on Holy Terra and was tested, I was found to be suitable material for becoming a sanctioned psyker, able to bend his curse to his own will. I can assure you that the adepts of the Astra Telepathica were right in their assessment.
What is the black ship?
Picture a vast prison ship, filled with frightened, angry psychers who can't control their abilities and who have just lost their homes and their families. Some of them were children and adolescents like I was. Some were monstrous creatures who no longer had the right to be called human, or psychopaths who reveled in their impure powers.
Oh my.
Once, when one of the miscreants broke free, those in command simply depressurized the bay and got rid of the culprit, along with the prisoners and crew tainted by him. But even after that, I heard the echo of inhuman suffering and terror that filled that part of the ship. It grieves me to recall that episode to this day.
I like how we were talking about the sound earlier, and someone goes, "Oh my god, I think I just got a boner." And then Agamir times him out, and he properly saved himself by going, metaphorical, of course. Metaphorical. Well, in that case, sorry about the purge there. That's totally understandable. Great. All right. Metaphorical, of course.
Of course.
You were sent to the Inquisition straight after training?
No, First, I was accorded the status of a psyker, fit for service in the Imperial Guard, where I then spent several years. It was only afterward that I became an agent of the Golden Throne.
Let's talk about something else. How long have you served the Inquisition?
Since the day of my initiation as an acolyte. So, decades. How many real years it's been, it's hard to say. When I return from a journey through the warp, I often discover that much more or much less time has passed in real space.
You've visited many worlds during your service, I'll wager.
Indeed. I have visited many of the places brought to the Emperor's light, and those sullied by the filth of the archenemy. In truth, even after all these years spent visiting the various corners of the Imperium and looking beyond its borders, I still consider the Segmentum Solar to be the greatest of all humanity's bastions. Nothing compares to the majesty of Holy Terror, the might of Mars, the grandeur of the Segment's other worlds.
What duties have you been carrying out for the Inquisitor?
You can't really be expecting me to answer that question, can you?
That's fair. For someone who's been in the service for decades, you certainly look young.
The first step for biomancers such as myself is to take control of the processes of their own body, including aging. I've endured innumerable hazards in my work. If I allowed every trace of them to remain, I would look completely different today.
Oh.
Gladly.
You're not the Inquisitor's only acolyte, correct?
Of course not. The Lord Inquisitor's entourage comprises dozens of people. The best of the best. Experts in various fields and disciplines. Some of them I know personally. Others I have never met.
So this is basically BG3 but Warhammer? Yes. Baldur's Gate 3 is a CRPG by Larian Studios. This is a CRPG by Owlcat in the Warhammer 40k universe.
To be honest, I'm not even certain that the people I know are still alive. I used to work with other acolytes of the Lord Inquisitor, but in the Coronis Expanse, I've been working alone.
Wandering among the stars without family or friends, do you get lonely?
I rarely have the time or the opportunity to think about it.
If you're an interrogator, does that mean you hold a special position in the retinue?
We are not a retinue. We are acolytes. As for your question, I am closer than anyone else to the one I call my personal teacher. The Lord Inquisitor deemed me worthy of undertaking the most important and sensitive tasks requiring the attention of agents of the Golden Throne.
Are other acolytes in the Cronus Expanse? The interrogator narrows his eyes at you and releases a disappointed sigh. After several seconds of silence, you realize you will not be getting an answer.
Such as?
What can you do as a psyker?
The Lord Inquisitor was most insistent that I master the discipline of Santic Demonology. I use my faith and my power to crush the enemies of the Imperium. Servants of Chaos tremble at the sound of the Emperor's name, uttered by my lips. I am also a skilled biomancer. I can manipulate bodily processes. Sometimes I resort to those skills in the course of my work, when it is necessary to make the subject of an interrogation more cooperative.
Okay. Thanks for the talk. Okay. Are you gonna do tries before OTK? I think so. Actually, maybe this is a good point to chill for a bit. Yeah. You know what? Well, no, we'll do this for like another 20 minutes or so, and then we'll play little tribes before 3 o'clock. Still want to. No, wait, not here. Here. Yep. Oh, somebody earlier says, can I upgrade my ship? I don't think I can upgrade it. Yeah, I think everything is about where it is, but I can upgrade RAM or hull. It takes scrap. I have 100 of it. I don't know what that is. I don't want to wait on it. Yeah, I have no idea what it. We haven't done any. Oh my god. We haven't done any of this yet, so I don't want to like You know, we haven't even gotten to this point. I'm kind of like waiting until, you know, we actually get to some space combat. Yeah. I'm still in the tutorial, chat. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm still in the tutorial. Oh, wait. Whoops. This is the wrong place. Ah! Never mind. That was the right place. I missed the goods right in front of me. What is even life, chat? What is even life? Dude, okay, we don't have this guy, unless, you know, I think that's Heinrix. We've got like at least three more people that we need to get. My lord, dude. This game is huge. I love it. Yeah, there's space combat in the game too. Yep.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Hi. We've pretty much maxed him for now. There's no real reason to raise it yet. Wait on that. Master Van Calix, it pleases me to see you're in good health. I hope that you accomplished what you intended to at the electrodynamic cenobium. After an uncomfortably long pause, Medine clears his throat and he turns to you. Oh! I cannot express how grateful I am for your help. Now that the insidious heretic designs have been thwarted, nothing stands in the way of my plan or yours. With Aurora dead, the spirit of revolt is waning. Entire squads of rebels are surrendering. We are witnessing the final days of the uprising. I've already signed the order to allocate 2,000 first-class Voidfarers to you. Their transfer to your ship should begin any minute now. I would like to salute the savior of Rykad, Minoris, and I have already a festive celebration to be held in your honor. You'll celebrate your victory with an ancient custom, the Triumph. You will drive through the city streets accompanied by a guard of honor, as befits a hero who has vanquished the Imperium's enemies. All your trophies will be displayed to the jubilant crowd. Let me know once you've concluded your business in the system, and we are ready for the Triumph to begin. Hell yes, I am. Let's do it. Oh yeah, buddy. The Triumph. Oh wait, first talk to this guy.